following breaking news as we come on the air tonight. And we're taking live pictures right now. This is US 35, which is still closed at this hour after a chase ended in a crash and an officer involved. Now you can see at this hour, you want to stay on this live shot right now. That is the Ohio BCI. They are on the scene, have been on the scene now for several hours. Now this all happened around 10:54 this morning. Again, this is still a very active scene at this hour. Both an officer and suspect were hurt and taken to Miami Valley Hospital. Now this here behind me, this is the drone video from this scene from this afternoon. Now you can see that suspect's white pickup truck landed on top of the Trotwood police cruiser. A second cruiser was also hit. Now this all unfolded like a scene out of a movie. One viewer sent us video from Snapchat showing the crash and the shooting that followed. Now we want to warn you, this video is very intense.
Oh, look at this.
What you're hearing in that video is the barrage of bullets that are being exchanged between police and that suspect. Now, as you can see, the white pickup collided with the Trotwood cruiser, ending up on top of the cruiser. Let's take it. This is another slow motion look at that video. You can see it actually went airborne and landed on top of the cruiser. We do know there was an officer inside the cruiser at the time. Now we have team coverage tonight on this.
Are the devices that police use to take out a car's tires, but the suspect continued to drive on. Again, a number of departments have been on the scene all day. The man that I was talking with earlier, he tells me that this intersection, it's normally a very busy intersection. We saw that in those viewer videos. And the Montgomery County Sheriff, Rob Struck, he echoed that, saying that this situation, it could have been far worse.
Luckily, it wasn't worse than it could have been. Obviously, anybody shooting out of a window during a lot of traffic on major roadways with a long gun is very dangerous.
Again, this road, it is still blocked off. The tape is still up. About 4:30, they brought out plastic road blockers. So this is still a very active scene between Abbey Avenue and Infirmary Road here in Dayton. But police, they are asking for your help tonight. They say if you have any photos, any videos of this incident on 35 today, to please send them to police. You can send them to DPD Media Requests at DaytonOhio.gov. But as soon as this road reopens, and again, it is still closed, we will let you know here on air as well as online. Elise.
Thank you, Gwen. And as she mentioned just moments ago, US 35, where this all took place, remains closed between Abbey Avenue and Infirmary Road, both east and westbound. There is no access to 35 from Liscombe Drive or Gettysburg Avenue as well, or Gettysburg Road, I should say. And like Adam had mentioned earlier, this all started at the Voyager Village Mobile Home Park in Trotwood. So we want to send things over to Jenna Lee Borg, who has been there now for the past several hours. Jenna Lee.
Yeah, this whole thing started right here at this mobile home park. Trotwood police officers responding to a call that a female was hit by a vehicle, and that is according to Trotwood's police chief Wilson. He said that in a press conference earlier today. So while the officers began to give the victim first aid, the suspect sped by them while pointing a long gun at these officers. The suspect continued to speed away, which is when officers tried to catch up, attempting a traffic stop. We know the victim and suspect are related, but we don't know what the relationship is. We also don't know the victim's age, so we're trying to gather that information. The female victim was taken to a local hospital, but is expected to be okay. Back to you, Elise.
Generally, thank you. And of course, we've been keeping you up to date on air as well as online. You can find our complete coverage right now at Dayton247now.com. And we first brought you this story as breaking news as soon as it happened. You can get those alerts sent right to your phone. Just download the Dayton 24/7 Now app. It's easy to do so. Take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen right now, and that'll take you to your app store to download it for free. Now, our other major story tonight, turning to weather. A winter storm is moving across the central U.S., and the National Weather Service is forecasting heavy snow, strong winds, and even blizzards hitting areas from the southeast to the northeast beginning today. Now, Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters is out tonight for us on our Watson's Weather Patio. And Natalie, what can we expect in our area?
Yeah, Elise, just a very active week of weather ahead. We're tracking rain, we're tracking snow, and also we're tracking wind. So let's go ahead and break down what we're expecting this week, because it's not just going to be one event that's going to be impacting us. So heading into tonight, tomorrow, we're tracking a wintry mix and some snow transitioning to rainfall. By our Wednesday, that rain that we see transitioning into a light snow, minor accumulations, but also wind. We're tracking some wind gusts up to 40, maybe up to 45 miles per hour. Another very similar round of rain and snow in the forecast heading into Friday and Saturday, and then it turns much colder. We're talking about our first real blast of that winter cold air. So 30s across the area right now, mid 30s. We are dry at this time. Satellite and radar showing no precipitation, but that will change heading into the rest of the evening, starting with some rain and a wintry mix. Notice temperatures will be on the warmer side, so I'm tracking that and those snowfall accumulations, how much we could see coming up here in just a little bit.
A 15-year-old boy in critical condition tonight following a shooting in Wapakoneta. The police department took to social media saying officers responded to the scene just before 5:30 yesterday morning. Police say foul play is not suspected, but Ohio BCI is investigating. Wapakoneta High School made their crisis intervention team available to students. However, it's not known at this time if the boy was a student there. And for the first time since Governor Mike DeWine vetoed a bill that would have banned gender-affirming care for kids, we are getting the Lieutenant Governor's take on this. Kate Seifert spoke with John Husted today, talking about this controversial bill that some Republican state lawmakers are still trying to get passed despite the governor's veto.
For the first time since Governor Mike DeWine vetoed a bill that would have banned gender-affirming care for minors here in the state of Ohio, we are getting some perspective from the Lieutenant Governor, John Husted. Take a look at this. Just 24 hours before the governor vetoed this bill, the Lieutenant Governor posted this on X, saying he supported it and hoped that this bill would pass for two main reasons. He said men should not play women's sports and permanent medical decisions should not be made when someone is a child. Now, although Governor DeWine vetoed this bill, you'll remember, of course, just a couple of days ago, he signed an executive order that banned all gender transition surgeries for minors here in the state of Ohio. Now, as for the latest of what is happening here at the State House, Republican House members are set to come back here on Wednesday of this week, and they tell us they plan to override the governor's veto, or at least consider a vote to do so. It's something that we are going to continue watching, and we'll keep you updated. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Kate Seifert.
And we are continuing to follow this breaking news out of Jefferson Township, Dayton area tonight. Of course, we will bring you the very latest after the break.
And our next weather maker is making its way in. We're tracking wind, rain, and snow. I'll time it all out for you. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
There was plenty of snow over the weekend, and dogs across the country clearly enjoyed it. From Lucy near Albany in her first snowfall, to King rolling in a mound near Kalamazoo. And then there's the St. Bernard in Portland, Maine. Bernards were originally bred for rescue work, but this one clearly enjoys tackling his best friend in the snow again and again.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
We now want to give you another live look. This is US 35 as investigators from Ohio BCI are still there trying to piece together a violent scene that happened late this morning. We know this started after a female was hit by the suspect and his vehicle at a mobile home park in Trotwood. It then ended at that scene there on US 35 with the suspect's truck flying into the air, really, then crashing or landing on top of a police cruiser before a barrage of bullets. We know that female victim from the initial scene, the suspect, and a Trotwood officer are all in the hospital tonight. Adam is live for us outside of Trotwood Police Department. So, Adam, what do we know about the officer's condition at this time?
So Trotwood's police chief updated us earlier this afternoon, Elise. He said, he didn't want to reveal too much about his condition at this point because he is still in the hospital. When asked if he thought that officer would survive, the chief was quick to say, "We believe so." So needless to say, there's a lot of hope being held, not just here at the Trotwood Police Department behind me, but among law enforcement and the community all around the Miami Valley for that officer.
Now, what about the suspect and the original victim? Do we know anything about them at this hour?
What's been revealed about both of them so far, Elise, is that we know that they are related. They are not married, but they are related. Now, that female victim, as we mentioned off the top, she is in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries at this hour. As far as the suspect goes, nothing has been released officially about them yet. This is obviously still very early in the investigation. It's unclear when charges might come down, and as soon as we get any of that information, we of course will bring it to you immediately, both of course here on air and online at Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Well, our next weather maker is already making its way in, and we have several rounds of active weather in the forecast this week that we're going to be talking about. First one arrives tonight. So this is what we have going on currently. Cloud cover across the area to our southwest. We are already seeing some rain beginning to develop back in Indiana, but bigger picture of the storm system, it is bringing active severe weather through areas along the Gulf coastline, which will eventually shift to our areas to our southeast heading into the day tomorrow, already bringing some snowfall through parts of northern Missouri and into Iowa. And even for us here, we'll be expecting some snow overnight into early tomorrow. Unfortunately, this isn't going to be a snow that will stick around, but we will be seeing some showers and eventually with temperatures falling by early tomorrow morning, a transition to some snowfall. So this is about 1 a.m. Rain begins to build in, and then pausing this here at 3 a.m. Mainly north of I-70, we could potentially just see a very heavy, wet snow early tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise, will likely be above freezing, so won't have significant impacts out on the roads. However, visibility will be down. Could see some slick spots very early into our Tuesday morning, but notice here it transitions to rain by around 7 a.m. So any snow that you do see will then melt away, and we'll just see rain, some heavy at times during the day tomorrow. Temperature-wise, will be up into the mid to upper 40s, and then we'll start to see the rain begin to taper off a bit before colder air slides in, bringing us some snow showers heading into Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll be dealing with some scattered snow showers. Could see a quick dusting of snow for our Tuesday night into our early Wednesday morning. Also going to be pretty breezy to go along with that. Now heading into our Friday, we got another storm system that will be making its way in. This is going to be a similar type of system where the leading edge, we could see some snow, then transitioning to rain, followed by even colder air taking over by this weekend. Could see some minor snowfall accumulations during our day on Saturday, with temperatures really taking a nosedive as we heading into this weekend. So I mentioned the wind. Let's talk about that. Tomorrow we could start to see some wind gusts early tomorrow morning up to around 30 miles per hour. And then heading into Tuesday night, early into our Wednesday, wind gusts could be between about 35, even up to 45 miles per hour for our early Wednesday. So with falling temperatures early Wednesday, it's going to feel very cold too as we factor in that wind chill for our early Wednesday. And it gets windy again as we head into this upcoming weekend. Now, rainfall totals, we're expecting at least an inch for pretty much everywhere for us, and then turning into those snowfall totals. Keep in mind, this is all going to melt away, but we could see maybe a dusting of snowfall of a very wet, slushy snow for our early Tuesday morning, and then could see maybe some spots getting around an inch, maybe some higher totals, but as I mentioned, it would quickly melt away as it transitions to rain by late into the day on Tuesday. So overall, we are planning on some active weather next several days, followed by it just turning very cold. Check out next week, Sunday into Monday, our high temperatures only in the teens. We could even start to see those low temperatures dropping into the single digits.
Well, earlier today, Montgomery County's Board of Revision held a reorganization meeting. Now, in that meeting, they discussed the results of last year's Board of Revision complaints and where they see things going this year for property values. Montgomery County Auditor Carl Keith gave an update about the reduction of school board filings.
The state legislature passed House Bill 126, which significantly reduced the number of school board filings. Normally, or in the past, school boards could file against property owners, and most of the time seeking to raise the value of their property. In their opinion, we had it valued too low, and so they would file an appeal asking us to raise that value.
Keith also mentions that this year they saw a record-setting property value increase in the county across the state. The region is about to add a new trampoline park. Nova Trampoline Park is taking over the now closed Mark's Discount Drug and Grocery Store on East Whip Road in Kettering. The trampoline park will bring 30 to 45 new jobs to the area. The park, of course, will have trampolines, but also dodgeball, a foam pit, rock wall, and of course, a rope course. And now we have the results of Friday's question of the day. We asked, will the events of January 6th of 2021 affect your vote for president this year? Of more than 15,000 votes, 31% of you said yes, 69% of you said no. For today's question, we now want to know, do you believe the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border is a crisis? Share your opinion by voting on this poll at Dayton247now.com. Click on the question of the day heading in the news tab. We'll be right back after the break. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
We're continuing to follow this officer-involved crash and shooting. Again, we'll bring you the very latest tonight on Fox 45 at 10 and ABC 22 at 11.